Hello and welcome to Scrolling with Ceazor. Today is May 15th, 2026. Okay, as you can see, lots of red today. We went back up a little bit yesterday and now we are even below where we went down yesterday. So it's not looking great, but again, we're still down here at this local bottom, which is not too scary. If we take a look at BTC, it's just ranging inside this range. It's still on its uptrend. I guess you could draw lines through this to say that it's broken its resistance, but I think it's still looking decent enough and not as scary, especially if you compare it to like some of the stock stuff that has happened. Let's take a look at gold. It's not a super indicator, but as you can see, gold is significantly down as well. I'd have to look at the S&P, but I'm not going to bother doing it here right now and stuff like that. But yeah, everything's pretty scary. Everything's red. Everything's down. Just hodl on. Keep your liquidity positions open. Farm this volume and hopefully come out on top. Okay, so let's swing over to the news. As always, this is not financial advice. It's just my own personal biased information, and you can check it out and think about it if you want. Okay, so first of all, Kelp has resumed its protocol in all ways. So RSETH is now completely unpaused. You can deposit and withdrawals are live. You're going to get your eigenlayer rewards if you're a holder of RSETH. It's fully backed and fully restored, good to go. People will start unwinding their basis trades, I hope, and other protocols that are affected with this by having looped this up will now be able to start unlooping. There's definitely going to be some opportunities to as these unloopings happen to arb this token, so keep an eye on that if that's something you want to do. Okay. Moving on, I've got the same tweet twice, sorry. So PeckShield has declared or shown that Thorchain has been exploited once again. 10 million worth of crypto was taken. This is not the first time Thorchain has been exploited. They were exploited several times. Thorchain has got a reputation of being the place for exploiters or thieves or hackers to launder their money from ETH into BTC. And they kind of, set up Thorchain so that they couldn't stop them. So they allowed them to go through, and they often gloat or tweet out that like, hey, look how much volume we got this month. But it's like almost all hackers just washing their money into BTC. So it's not very, maybe this is a case of karma. I don't know. I don't really know. I kind of believe in karma. I kind of don't, but it's kind of like, come on, guys, like, anyhow, I don't know what to say about that. It's just, this has happened, and these are some of the thoughts I'm thinking. So today I'm showcasing several of my own tweets because it was a bit hard to find stuff, so I did some tweets myself. So here we have Protocol FX. You can get 7% fixed rate if you put FX USD through Pendle right now. That's fixed rate for 166 days according to this image. You would have to double check, of course. This APR will definitely change as people come in and take advantage of it. And this is 2 hours old, so yeah, you have to look. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. You can use Protocol FX to mint your FX USD, put it through Protocol FX, and then take your 7% plus your FX back in the end of the year, and then assess what you want to do then. You can repay your debt, but if you repay your debt, then you're going to pay the repayment debt. So Protocol FX only charges you upfront minting fee and charge you a fee to repay your debt. There's no interest the whole time. So it's probably better at that half year when this expires or matures or whatever you want to call it to take your 7% plus your capital, and then reassess at that point where you want to deploy this capital. I would suggest you just probably throw it in FX Save until you find some better opportunity. It's probably the better play, but who knows? You do what you assess your situation at that time. I did give a small tip that you might want to hold on to a little bit of stable coins just in case ETH dumps like crazy and you don't want to get liquidated. You can repay some of your debt, but this protocol FX has got soft liquidation. So if it does go below your price, it'll start swapping starts liquidating you, so to speak, liquidating your collateral. But then as it recovers, it will buy back your collateral for you. So that's there. Okay, moving on. So Ramses did a tweet out, and there's only 5 votes right now, but lots of time left. So they're like, which things do you like the most? And I said, what, I love auto votes. Auto votes are so cool. It basically votes for you, takes all your bribes, liquidates it into an asset that you want, and you do nothing. All you do is deposit, and then once a week come and claim your juice, right? That's you don't even need to claim it once a week. It depends on how much it is. So check that out. Okay. I got a tweet here on Liquidity Protocol, Bold stablecoin. It's pretty straightforward. All I'm saying here is that Liquidity Protocol is immutable, on-chain, unstoppable stablecoin. Okay. However, there is some governance to it, a tiny bit. Okay, and it's very isolated and segregated from the actual protocol. So 25% of the borrow interest rate is sent outside of the protocol to another governance structure. And that contract, then people with the LQTY tokens can vote on where they want that 25% of Bold to go. And it's generally to these LPs. So there's a Curve LP, another Curve LP, a Uniswap, and a balancer pool. So you can if you are a staker, you can kind of come here and you can vote to send that Bold to the liquidity pools that you are managing. Now, if another protocol comes along and they're like, hey, we want to get some of this juice, they can, propose through governance to have their pool added to this. Of course, it's going to have to, in order to get voted in, it's going to have to use Bold as the other stablecoin. But this is the only thing that could possibly change, and this has no effect on you as a CDP holder, as a minter with collateral and a trove. This doesn't change anything for you. It just changes the liquidity pool incentivization. So that's it. So I thought I would share that. Okay, Stable Summit. This is one of the protocols, or one of the conferences that I keep thinking I should go to, but I never go to any of these. I don't know why, but anyhow, there's a speech up here, and there's a couple protocols that I really like here. 3 of them are ones that I really enjoy, so Frax Finance, of course, I speak about it every day. I think it's by far superior to USDC, and I would use it exclusively if it had the opportunities that USDC has, and the bridgeability, or not bridgeability, but off-ramp ability. So so I can pay for my life and buy my kids new shoes and stuff like that. Cyril of Protocol FX, which I just talked about 2 minutes ago. Benjamin of Cap Money, which is a really cool protocol. I don't talk about it enough, but I should probably add it to my cycle of things to talk about. It's a pretty cool protocol as well. I do have a video if you want to understand it, and then these other guys that I don't really talk about. But my point here of sharing this is not so much like, hey, look at these guys are going to talk. I think these kinds of talks are quite important for founders, that founders should really do these kinds of stuff, especially with larger protocols. You need to have a spokesperson. You need to have someone who's going on stage talking about stuff and kind of giving everybody a taste of what's going on, and just reminding people that you exist, even if it's the same talking points over and over. I think it's important. So I thought I would share that. You can check it out if that's something you want to check out. So ETH Strategy retweeted this yesterday. So these guys here, I don't know who this is, MTS Live. They got Vitalik to come on their show. I don't know how they achieved that. That's pretty cool. But ETH Strategy is ETH Strategy supports Vitalik's insane jawline mog in this clip. So as you can see, he's got his camera really low, and it's just showing his jawline. It just reminds me of DeFi Chad, that whole Chad meme. Now, obviously, Vitalik's not ripped and mega big, right? But he's got that jawline, and it's just kind of cool and funny. And yeah, maybe that'll pump our bags if we shill shit like this instead of talking about the fundamentals and decentralization of ETH. We just start shilling jawline memes. Okay, so here we have Hey Anon. Hey Anon has a new integration. If you are using Hey Anon, that's cool. It's basically Sol Send. It's an agentic OTC service for Solana tokens. So yeah, if you are using Hey Anon, you can check this out and figure out if this is useful for you. Okay, L2Beat has this long thread, well, not super long, but this long little thread here, and it's talking about a updated interoperability dashboard with a new top protocol. So the new top protocol is CCTP v2. So yeah, USDC is clearly winning because they have this CCTP and like bridge where you can bridge USDC anywhere you want for free. Sometimes you gotta wait 20 minutes, sometimes you don't. It's just obvious that people are going to use it, and I think that's good. I would love to see other protocols subsidize their bridge to compete with this, other stable coins. But yeah, so that's that. You can check that out. L2Beat's a pretty cool dashboard to constantly check and to give you something to like read through and keep you busy. Okay. So check that out. Millie tweeted out about the Thorchain exploit as well. I just wanted you to kind of look at this and think about it. If you are not able to look because you're only a listener, I will read it in a second or two. Basically, he's saying the same thing I was saying. North Korea swaps $1 billion of ETH for BTC. Thorchain is decentralized, bro, so we can't do anything. But the fifth $10 million hack in many years, and let's halt the chain. Let's pause. Let's fix this. So anyhow, that's that. I don't know if that's true or not. Whether or not they can halt the chain and backwind it. Of course they can, but whether they'll do it or not, I'm not sure. Or even whether or not this discussion is happening. Okay. Last thing I'm going to talk about here is Chris Till. I don't know who this person is. She's got Web3 in her tags, so I assume she's a DeFi native person or understands DeFi well enough. And she here is talking about, like, Jesse from Base is like saying, you can send USDC or stablecoins on Base now for free. Just do it, right? And she's saying, oh, why don't you build for outside the bubble? Like, why don't you build for people outside the bubble? People don't want. What about when I try to turn my stablecoins into fiat and I use it to pay for my life? Are you going to pay those fees? And I feel like she sounds like she's spoiled from misdirection. Now, what do I mean by that? Like, basically, Amazon has Amazon Prime. You get free shipping, right? But it's not free shipping. You have to pay for Amazon Prime. There's no such thing as free shipping. Someone is paying for it. So, of course, Jesse and Base are not going to pay for you to off-ramp via Kraken. Or maybe Coinbase they might, but you get my point. Like, they're not going to pay your fees to off-ramp because that's a different service, okay? What they will pay, though, is they'll pay for you to send USDC to someone else on Base. And if that someone else accepts USDC, great. So the point of it is to incentivize people to use stablecoins on Base. So not just people, but actual businesses. So I talk about it down here. You can read through my post. But that's the idea. The idea here is you're opening a restaurant. You accept payments. You can accept Visa. You can charge your customers more money so that you can pay the Visa fees. Or you can also accept USDC on Base and be able to charge your customers less or charge them the same and make more money. So it's like, that's the point of it, okay? It's not the point to make everyone have free money forever wherever they want their money. The point of it is to incentivize usage on Base of stablecoins, okay? So that's it. I hope this has been interesting and useful. I'm sorry, Crystal, to hammer on you, but that's just the way I think, okay? So thank you so much, and goodbye.